I'd like to introduce Debbie Fields. Debbie is a core teacher of middle school students. She teaches 5th through 8th grade students core classes, and she has been with us for many years. Her son Craig attended school here, and we graduated. Craig, how many years ago, Debbie, has that been now?
16, so 4 years ago.
Wow. And so she's been on the faculty now for several years. She had been at Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. In fact, I understand, I can brag on her, that she was the most requested teacher at the school there. And last year, she had a wonderful honor bestowed on her. She was named the Ohio American History Teacher of the Year for 2019. And in the national competition then, and this would have been for American history teachers all across the US, she came in 3rd place. So we're very proud of Debbie. And I thought if you could, Debbie, maybe take a couple minutes and talk to the parents about what you do, the classes you teach, what your experience has been here with Schilling, and then maybe we can open it up to some questions people might have for you.
Awesome. Happy to do that. I think the biggest thing for me in my teaching career is that I didn't decide to be a teacher, and I didn't choose that as a career. For me, it was truly a calling. It was something that I felt very compelled to do, just simply because I knew that there were kids out there like me who were very bored in school, who were under-challenged, and they were just coasting through. And so my passion is taking a square peg and adjusting the hole so that it matches the student, rather than what a typical, I think, classroom or a typical like public school in particular is. If you're a square peg, we're going to cram you into that round hole, whether you want to go in that hole or not. And so I'm very passionate about figuring out what is going on inside the head of my students so that I can best reach them. Sometimes it's reaching them academically, but usually it's reaching them academically, behaviorally, emotionally, socially. There's just a whole bunch of components, as you all know, to your children. And I take that as kind of a personal challenge. I really love figuring out the buttons that every single student has, and they're all different. So it takes an investment, but it's really exciting to me. And when I had decided, I'd been at CHCA for 15 years, but when I no longer felt like it was the right fit for me, the very first place I came with my resume was Dr. Schilling. And I said, if by any chance you get an opening, you are the first place I'd want to go. Because when Craig came here, he said, Mom, I found my people. And I found teachers who actually get me. And I thought, I want to do that for other families. It changed our lives. It didn't just change Craig's life. It changed all our entire family's life, because he was himself again, and he could thrive as himself for the first time in his life. So I'm very passionate about Schilling as well. And I'm very thankful for what Schilling did for our family. And I'm hoping that I get to be a part of doing that for some of your families as well. So that's kind of who I am and why I do what I do and why I love what I do and why I love Schilling. So feel free to blast me with any questions. Happy to answer them. None, just like the classroom. Anybody have any things you're dying to know?
I'll just vouch for her. She taught my 2 kids. So she's amazing. I requested her, of course.
Thank you.
So Debbie, what classes do you teach?
So this year I'm teaching 5th and 6th grade math, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th social studies, and 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th reading. So Mrs. Kelly and I team teach on the core classes. And every year we kind of evaluate, is this the best match? We're both perfectly capable of teaching. I'm certified pre-K through 12, so I can teach anything in any grade level. And we're just trying to utilize our best talents and what's really connecting with the kids. So this is how we've divided it up. Some years we change it up a little bit, but this seems to be a really good fit for both of us.
And what do you do on Tuesday and Thursday?
I get to be Dr. Schilling's assistant. Uh, so it's kind of nice too, because I have a background in accounting, so I get to use that and business administration. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get to switch hats and work in the office and use those skills too. So it's nice. No other questions. Y'all are easy. Wow.
An example of what you do in the classroom to engage a student and particularly within the gifted community?
So it's really challenging because, and you know this, every single student is different. And that's true of course, any school, but I think it's especially true in a gifted community. Just because they're gifted doesn't mean everything comes easily, and they may be gifted in one area, but not so much in another. And so the thing I love, one of many, about Schilling is that my classes are very small. So I'm able to get to know every single student. I can figure out what is going on in their head when something's difficult. I can see when they're sitting back and trying to coast a little bit. And really, I think the biggest way to engage a student is you have to get to know them.
Where their interests are and what excites them, what engages them. It's one of many things we do really well here at Schilling, in my opinion.